do is do that.
I do
and
that.
that's the red button. That's
I
it.
got it. Yep.
Hello, this is for Communication 110 for 2010, the spring semester at CPCC. And I'm going to go ahead and start my speech. My general purpose is to inform. It's to inform my audience on divorce and marriage. According to National Center for Health Statistics, 50% of marriages end in divorce, but 75% will remarry within 12 months. Let's look at why marriages fail, the effects, and blended families. Imagine that perfect wedding day that every person dreams of on that dreamy, beautiful Sunday, or no, we can't do that. Communication class 110 for spring semester 2010 at CPCC. My general purpose is to inform my audience on an overview of research-proven information on divorces and remarriages. According to National Center for Health Statistics, 50% of marriages end in divorce, but 75% remarry within 12 months. Let's look at why marriages fail, the effects, and what it has to do with blended families. Imagine that perfect wedding day every person dreams of, with that dreamy groom waiting at the altar and the bride beautiful in her white gown. The sun is shining and the bride's and groom's parents give those words of wisdom just before the ceremony. Don't worry if this doesn't work out. 50% of marriages end in divorce. They fail. Look at your spouse's failures. Then in a year after that divorce is final, you can get remarried, no sweat, blend your families together, take your baggage from that first marriage into your second, and do it all again. Good luck, and remember, I love you. The National Center of Health Statistics states that more than 50% of marriages will end in divorce. According to Rose Creeder, remarriages can often prove very difficult from blended families to bringing some of your past issues from your first marriage into your new marriage. Today I'm going to highlight a few interesting facts about divorce, its effects, and remarriages. Why marriages will end in divorce. According to many researchers, the stigma attached to divorce has decreased. Help Start Here website will state that ever since the 1970s, divorce has become commonplace. People are no longer ashamed to be divorced. Attitudes towards marriage life has changed as well, in the aspect that people have unrealistic expectations, then they're followed by disappointment, and then that equivalates into a divorce. In recent years, more women are initiating divorce because of their independence outside of the home. Marriages fail because in any relationship, conflict occurs, and without communication, a resolution becomes impossible. Let's look at the effects that divorce has. When your first divorce ends, when your first marriage ends and then it leads to divorce, there is mental anguish and devastation that has been created, and in return disables your mental capabilities and your decision-making skills. Taking time after divorce to dissect the contributions that each spouse made causing the first marriage to fail, and then examining how your behaviors caused that relationship to fail, what you can do to prevent those same issues from reoccurring, and taking the time to become your own best friend. As you can see here, there's a lot of stress and arguing that goes in with marriage. Remarriage often occurs within 12 months after divorce has been finalized, and that has its own issues. When your second partner comes into your life with their baggage and mental disabilities, you end up with two partners on an emotional roller coaster. According to Rose Creeder, loneliness, little self-esteem, inability to cope with raising your children and/or your new parents' children, and financial responsibilities to your first spouse and your family are cause for lack of success that do not generally affect the first marriage. People who remarry often have a step family, and the social dictionary, the social work dictionary, defines the definition of a blended family as a family that is formed when separate families are united by marriage or other circumstance, a step family. Various kinship or non-kinship groups whose members reside together and assume traditional family roles. We can see here what a blended family could perhaps look like. People often remarry who have children themselves, or are remarrying someone who may have children, and then this creates that blended family. Attitudes towards marriage life has changed in the aspect that people equate marriage and happiness, which leads to unrealistic expectations followed by disappointment, hence divorce, as we discussed earlier. Couples have separate ideas of the person's roles, and how those roles interact in that relationship. So make your changes in behavior before you attempt to rebuild a second marriage with destructive behaviors. Redefine your values and strengthen yourself to hold true to your values when choosing a new partner. Be comfortable with your ability to make good life decisions and those that may not affect you and your spouse but others. You need to sit and think about those people first before you possibly get remarried. And that's the conclusion of my speech.